To the page again. I was in this video and they already told me that basically I might be upset about this video. This is the page where we review videos all over of all types of content and see what people have to say. That's right.
When you're in a relationship and your man doesn't compliment you, he's in secret competition with you and he wants to subconsciously be you.
What the hell? There's a lot of people on the internet that it's like the blind leading the blind, especially egocentric people. Now, mind you, I know a lot of people call people the term narcissist, but truth be told, to find the actual narcissist is very rare. But egocentric people are very often seen. To not give a compliment is to be in competition. You may be with a guy that just don't like your makeup. You may be with a guy that may not more so appreciate you, unfortunately. You may be with a guy that you all just got into an argument and he feels as though he doesn't want to give you a compliment. There can be all types of situations, but honestly, it's amazing to me how some women can actually say, this means this when it comes to a guy. Wow, you're not a guy. Well, in this day and age, I guess a man can be a woman and a woman can be a man. But let's continue.
Observing you, he knows that you're beautiful, you're competent. Wherever you go, you get all of the attention, you get everything drawn to you naturally. You don't even have to lift a single finger. For men, they come into the world and they have to prove their value by doing things because they're not really admired for their beauty. And I'm not talking about, the handsome guy with the six pack.
She has a point there. As men in general, truth be told, all our values we have to earn. A man, some people would even say women kind of on their easy mode when it comes to an attractive woman. And while a man has to particularly earn his value, whether it's a job, his earnings, or whatever, his education, he has to actually scale up. While women, more so, if they're attractive, if they're beautiful, they kind of get an easier road. Of course, things can happen, assault or anything like that, but God forbid. But those things, usually, women technically, if they're given the beauty, if they're blessed with beauty, then they don't really have to earn as much. There's always some type of guy out there that'll just give them whatever they want and just, submit to all their needs. There's always a guy out there for that. So technically men in general, we earn what we have.
But men are really valued for the things they can do for society, for the future family they build, their money, their resources, right? And
Exactly.
Some men, therefore, are envious of women because women, the more we surround
that envious maybe it's the men that she may be hanging out with, but as many men as I've done groups with, I rarely ever get down to a man feeling envious of a woman. I rarely ever. If anything, most men in a sense feel as though they should provide for a woman. They want to cater to a woman. I've never even heard a man in many groups as I've had, I've never even heard a man say, I don't want a woman. If anything, they get close to it is they don't want to get hurt by another woman. But to say I don't want a woman, I hear a lot of more so in groups of women say, I don't need a man. Or I never hear a man even say, I don't need a woman. But the envy, maybe it's what you call those beta men. Maybe that's what it is. Now, mind you, I don't subscribe to that, but maybe it's the beta men, supposedly.
into our feminine energy and through our looks and our beauty, and not just the superficial layer of beauty, but the magic that we carry within our body, and even the ability to create life, whether you choose to or not. But men are jealous. Not every single one, but some of them. And this is why they purposely
Just like I said, it's like the blind leading the blind. To say men are jealous, especially for childbearing or bringing forth life, that makes no sense. So we're jealous of you gaining weight and more so being able to push out in pain the ring of fire and in a sense continue to push forward life. We're jealous of that. We're jealous of your back pains. We're jealous of that. The only thing I even heard a guy ever saying that he's jealous of is a woman being able to sit home while he works. That's the closest thing. But a woman being beautiful, if you find a guy with jealousy in that way, then that guy may need to more so review his values in regards to what he sees as himself.
Withhold compliments from you because they don't want you to feel even better about yourself, to even further push your ego, to even further boost your confidence.
The main reason why, let me say some of the reason why a guy wouldn't want to push your ego up is maybe because he's scared of losing you. That would be more so a reasonable reason if he's like, I don't want her ego to be so up where she can feel as though she can get better than me. I don't want her ego to be so high to where I can lose her. Maybe her ego is so high that he's like, I feel as though I have to knock it down a bit. Maybe that's what it is. But regardless of it, that's technically an asshole. And maybe you're just with the wrong guy. But for him to not give you a compliment and not more so push you forward, it's not out of more so jealousy. At least, I've never seen it, but there's all types of cases maybe I haven't seen.
They are spiteful of you, and this could be men that are literally your boyfriend or your husband. You could be right now with a man in a relationship, but he never compliments you. That's the type of man I literally just spoke about.
See, if you're with a man that doesn't give you a compliment, right? Many cases he may not even notice it, or he doesn't think that it really means anything to you. So the best thing you can do is tell him, babe, I want a compliment. Not to think this opinion to where you would listen to a friend say this thing and all of a sudden you would think your husband or your boyfriend is jealous of you. That would lead you nowhere down a road of separation. The biggest thing in relationships is to be communicative. Communicate what you want to hear and actually find out you're not in the other person's brain. Just like I said, I find it interesting that many women will tend to say, oh, men want this, men think this, men think that. Oh, for these stupid reasons, I speak to a lot of men. I know a lot of men. I hang around a lot of men. You don't know what men think. That's as simple as that. The same way as men don't usually know what women think. Listen to what someone actually has to say. Now, if you are with a man that doesn't give you compliments, then it's time maybe you should review if this should be your man. It's time that you should review, is he scared to lose me? Am I too high on my horse? But to think that he's jealous of you, I think that's asinine. But that's my opinion. I think it's more so a form of communication. Once again, most relationships can more so be remedied with just communicating, understanding what you need, what I need, and moving forward. Not thinking more so the other person is the opposition, the enemy even. To think that they just want to take you down. Why would they even be with you? Now that may be a narcissist or a controlling individual, but please realize the only reason why I say narcissist is because that would be more so a narcissist. But truth be told, narcissism, a person that is narcissist, is pretty hard to find. Because most people actually do have narcissistic tendencies. We just don't actually identify them. But with that said, man, please realize, don't let the blind lead you. There's not a lot of men out there that are jealous of you, women. As women in general, you are beautiful. You're wonderfully made. We each has our role to play. And if a man finds himself to where he is jealous of you being a woman and him being a man, then you might have to question what type of man you're dating. You all have a good one.